Welcome back, everybody. Todd here. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Today it's Sunday. It's raining here in Michigan. The Lions don't play till 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I thought I'd get out here in the shop and do a quick install. What I'm hoping will be a relatively straightforward install, and that is to install some saddlebag guards on my 2024 Road Glide. So come on with me. Let's dig into the box and see what's involved in getting these things installed. So come on, let's jump into it. Okay, I got everything unboxed, pretty straightforward. As you know, my bike is black and chrome, so I went ahead and went with the chrome. So you got the bag guards there. Here's the brackets that go underneath and hold your saddlebags on. They're giving us all the hardware we need. I've been through the instructions. They're pretty straightforward. So I've grabbed a couple of wrenches that I think I'm going to need. So next step really is to just get over to the bike and get the saddlebags off. So let's jump over there and do that. All right, so the first order of business is to take these saddlebags off. And you're basically going to be unscrewing these things and then lifting them off of there. Really hold on firm. The last thing you want to do is let one of these bags fall. And I'll see how easy to break out there. And then just grab it, pull back. Lift from the bottom. Yeah. Repeat performance on this side. Okay, if you watch the channel for any length of time, you know what I'm going to do now. Time out. I'm going to clean all this up with some bug slide and a microfiber, and then I'll be back. So we come back over here to the directions, and you'll see right here under prepare, you know, you're going to remove the saddlebags. We just did that. Remove the side covers, and you're going to remove the seat. So let's go ahead and get that seat off and the side covers. Okay, so for the side cover, it should just pop right off. You got those rubber grommets in there. Pops right off. I'll go put this someplace safe. Be right back. Yes, I will be hitting this with bug slide and a microfiber, but let's keep moving. We'll do the other side. Okay, just a repeat performance. Pop the side cover off. Just be careful. Don't want to bugger anything up. Okay, onto the seat. I've got a Hogworkz 25 or a T25, and it's just a matter of backing the screw out of there, and that's why you keep the cloth on there. Set this screw aside. We're going to come back. We've got the strap on both sides. We're going to remove the strap. Also a T25, and that goes into the backing there. So there's one. Here you go, I'm right here. Same thing on that one. There you go. Strap is loose. Set that aside. And now we should be able to lift the seat up. Wiggle it a little bit. Be very careful. You're trying to just get it out of there. And then up we go. Since I've got the backrest, I've got to lift this up carefully, stick my hands under there, squeeze that together, and then that pulls that backrest out of there. So I'm off just like that. If you're not familiar with that, I'll show you what that backrest bracket looks like. Okay, that's the bracket right there. And then your backrest just comes down, sticks into that. So when you're buying, if you're going to buy like I did, the Harley-Davidson OEM backrest, you've got to get that bracket, and that's what goes on there. Then you can just pop your backrest on or off as you please. When you get your seat off like this, take a few minutes to get familiar with your bike. If you got the 2024 Road Glide or Street Glide, you may not be aware of the fact that these are leads right here for your heated gear. It's already pre-wired for all that. It says right there, heated gear. So here you go. They're just right there waiting for you to plug in. Very easy to get at. Just make sure when you put them back, you've got everything so nothing's getting kinked or pinched. But yeah, so yeah, again, just take a minute and get familiar with what's underneath this seat. You've got it apart. And then another thing is this. Right here's your preload on your bike, and you know it comes with a wrench, so you should be able to check that just to make sure your preload is set correctly for you. Pull out your manual, go to page 48. It walks you right through how to check or set your preloads, but it's really simple. You take this top ring, you spin it all the way to the top, then you measure from the bottom of that down to the top of this one down here, and then there's a chart here. That chart is on page 51. Based on your weight, etc., you're going to go ahead and set this preload, and it gives you how many centimeters, millimeters, so you got to get a metric ruler, but it gives you a setting, and then once you've got this dialed down to there, you just crank this all the way down like a lock nut. So really pretty easy to do. You're never going to have a better time to do it than now. You're already working on the bike. Take a few minutes, do yourself a favor, make sure you got your suspension set right. And you know, I guess while you're at it, here's your other preload for luggage and stuff like that. You know, I went ahead and when we set the preload for me, I added me plus what I had in my saddlebags as a cush, and I set that as a standard on the other side. Now, if I was going to go on a road trip and had a bunch of heavy luggage, all I really need to do is pop this bag off and crank this thing down based on how much I want to add to the suspension. So, you know, just bear that in mind. This is pretty easy to adjust this rear suspension, guys. Okay, enough preaching. Moving forward. So you're ready to start wrenching on this thing. Right back here, you've got a T40, and on the back side's a 1/2 inch nut. So you want to go ahead and cover up your exhaust just to make sure nothing bad happens. Of course, now I'm wrenching with my left hand, but so be it. All right. All right, we've got our bolt out from back here. We're going to just set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and move my protection forward just to make sure I don't geek anything up. And then we're going to pull this bolt out right here. Now if you got power tools, this might be your friend. 9/16. Like that, we're loose. Yeah. Just keep all your hardware together. It gives you a list of what you're going to keep and what you're going to discard, but pretty easy. So right here, we're going to go ahead and start by taking these bolts out and removing that from the muffler support. I've just got an impact here, and we're going to go ahead and they come right out. Wow, that's fast. Better bring that down, slow it down a little bit. Got it. Okay. We're going to set those aside because we're going to use them. Okay, here's our next move. We got to take this bolt out. That is a 9/16. this end of it is a T45. Here's my problem. I cannot get my ratchet under there because it's hitting this part of the fender here. If you see that. So I'm just going to go ahead. I've gone ahead and got it started, and be very careful because this is very loose now, but you know, the whole thing is turning now. I can't stop it. I'm going to have to get another wrench and grab onto this, keep it from turning. So I'll be right back and grab some vice grips. So here's my vice grips. Stick that in like so. Now you might be fortunate enough to have a short setup that'll work, but it doesn't seem to be working for me, but this will work just fine. This is where having another set of hands could be helpful, guys. Just kind of keep an eye on where you're at. And this has all got Loctite on it, so you're not going to get yourself even at the very end, and I'm at the end here. Alright, nuts off. I've got that bracket. Work that thing out, bolt, and now you should be able to pull that out of there, wiggle it out, and you're free. Now, you're going to need to reuse this rubber thing right here. Back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to show you how you're going to get this rubber thing out of there. I know we're fighting with autofocus, so you got to bear with me, but I thought this was worth showing. Just pull this out. Comes right out. See, and then that relaxes it, and you can get your thumbs on there and just use your thumb and kind of push it right through. You've pulled it out. There's your piece, right? And then this will just go, these two will go right back into your new bracket. Okay, so at this point, we're going to be putting the bar on here, sliding it into there, and we're going to be putting this bolt back on. I'm going to go ahead and put some blue Loctite on it. Set that down for a second. Alright, this is what it's telling us. We're going to want to slide this in here like so. We're going to bring it up here, get it in there, bring it up, and then it's telling us to start by putting that back in there loosely, and we're using a new nut that they gave us. So they asked us to discard the other one and then use this one. And then put that on loosely. Okay, I'll tell you what, I know it's going to tell me to drop this nut in here at some point, so I'm putting it in right now. That's going to allow me to use my tools here. And now I got to worry about scratching things up. I don't know if that'll go or not. That's going to do it for sure. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. It's loose. That's loose. Okay, we're going to put these in now. And again, we're reusing the ones we took out. Let's go ahead and get some blue Loctite on there. You got to get one started or you can't even get it lined up. So I got the first one in just to get it started. Okay, now our next step is to take the hex head back here and reinstall it. And use the nut that they're supplying you with now. I'm going to have to I had a heck of a time getting this out actually. then you gotta go up, I think. Up and over. I'm finding it when I get it over there, but holy crap. Getting this thing perfectly lined up is gonna be a challenge, boys. Holy crap. I'm gonna get a clamp. It's got to come up. That's on the edge. Screwing it in. Let's hope those threads are all right. It's in. You won't do it without a clamp, in my opinion. Kind of reasonably tighten it up, but you still got to get that other one in there, so you don't want to make it too tight. Alright, I think that's as much as I'm going to do for now. And now I'm going to put this other one back in. I have a similar problem with that. Nope. Alright, I'm going to leave that loose a little bit. We still have to get this bolt in right here. Well, that was easy. It's a plastic lock nut that's on there. So you're using a 3/16 Allen and a 7/16 end wrench. And you can't use a ratchet because you can't get it in there because the bar is in the way. Be careful you don't scratch a brand new bar. Alright. I don't know what the specs are for torque, but common sense goes a long way. That's together, that's not coming apart, especially with thread lock on there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, tighten everything up, and we'll duplicate this on the other side, and I'll be back. Alright, here you go. That's where we ended up. So obviously it bolts in the top there, comes down, catches there. This back piece, you got the bolt in the back, the bolt there. And then these two bolts that go into your exhaust. And then with the new piece, that's a 2-piece, whereas the one you took off was just a 1-piece. And there you go. Then your bags are just going to screw right to there and right to there. And then obviously you know how the rest of it works if you're taking your bags off. So, okay. But before we put this back together, there's never going to be a better time to put that 4-point docking hardware on. So I went ahead and bought some 4-point docking hardware from Hogworkz, and I'm going to go ahead and install that right now. There's a rubber piece right here, and you just pop that off. And you can see there's a slit there. Move the camera over. I don't know how well it's doing, but right there, it's a slit. That's what we're going to be working with. Get this set back up for you. All right, we're going to set that aside. We're going to take our part. Now you can see this kind of has a bevel to the outside. It's rounded. You got the double dock up here and a single on the back. This is going to go right inside here. You're going to take the hardware that they supplied and you're going to pop that right through there. Before we do that, we're going to goop it up with some thread lock. I'm using some blue. So I'm going to go ahead and just get these done, and then I'll be back. You're going to use a number 6 Allen wrench or hex head. But I'm going to go ahead and drop that in there just like I showed you. Get that lined up. And just get it started. Okay, that one's threading. Get my rear lowered. Same thing, just come. And just like that, it's in. Now, let's go grab those caps, and I'll show you what you're getting extra if you decide to go with the Hogworkz. When you're not running those, you got the rubber there, right? And it's going to show because your bags are going to come in and that black rubber is going to show. Plus it's susceptible, you know, to the sun and whatnot. But these are magnetic caps. They're hollow. Boom. Just like that. Look how that cleans that right up. I mean, if you're going for a nice, clean, polished look on your bike, why wouldn't you want that, right? Okay, we're back. Got the bags on. We've got the bag guards on. I think it's looking pretty good. Do a walk around. Here's those Hogworkz 4-point docking. And these are nice. If you don't have those, that's what you got. It's going to look like this. Very utilitarian like that. Pop those on, they're magnetic. Come back. Of course, that black is the kiss of death, right? Chrome and black. But you get the idea, guys. You get the ideas here. I should say guys and gals. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with the Hogworkz docking system. Every bit as good quality, in my opinion, as a Harley part. Then you've got your bag guards. I feel a lot better now, just in case. You never know. That now gives me a place for my cup holder. I love that cup holder. I don't like it up on the handlebars. It's just fine right down there. That is a great, great cup holder. Seat went back on, no problem. Everything's fitting up just right. Yeah. It took a fraction of the time to get the second, bag guard on there as it did the first, because I'm not moving lights and cameras and all that kind of stuff. You know, I would say give yourself, if you're going to do those bag guards, give yourself more than an hour, but probably less than an hour and a half. And if you're going to do the docking hardware, I mean, that is really a 15-minute gig, and most of that's taken up taking the bags off and putting them back on. Yeah, very easy. Well, that's going to be a wrap for today's video. I appreciate you tagging along as always. Really do appreciate everybody that views my videos, comments, hits that like button. Man, it really helps me out, and I certainly appreciate all the comments too. So thanks a lot again for tagging along, and I'll see you on the next one.